Super Mayhem.
Coming up on this episode of Super Mayhem. Oh my god, this guy dies instantly! Take that, undead guy. One hit, baby! Holy cow, did I just turn into a boss? What the hell is this guy doing with his hand? These hacks are insane! Hello friends, it's Tim here again from Super Mayhem. Oh! And boy howdy, do we have some fun game hacking action for you today. I'm going to be using the Game Genie for the Sega Genesis, and you won't believe what kind of results I get. In this addition to our Game Genie Hijinx series, we're going to take a look at the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive classic, Altered Beast. And well, there are quite a few interesting cheats and cheat codes for us to take a look at. So if you enjoy Altered Beast or just game hacking in general, then please do hit that thumbs up to support this video. Let's try and get to at least 30 likes if we can. Also, if you are new, then be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And with all that said, on with the show. For this first cheat, you don't actually need a Game Genie, but it is still very worthwhile you knowing it. At the start of the game, hold down A, B and C, as well as down and left. Then when the title screen shows, hit reset whilst holding down all the buttons. Once you get to the title screen again, hit start whilst holding down all the buttons, and you will actually gain access to this special secret screen that lets you select which kind of beast you will transform into for which level. Naturally the dragon is the best, but at least you can choose. Once you have set up which beasts you want for which levels, just press start and get it going. Whilst you're in the game, you will still need to collect 3 power-ups, known as spirit balls, in order to transform, but it is pretty sweet zapping that first head-throwing boss to bits as a dragon. Another super handy non-Game Genie thing is accessing the options menu. To do this, all you have to do is hold B at the title screen and then hit start. From here you can change the difficulty of the game and a bunch of other options, like changing the amount of health you have. The coolest being that you can actually select the level or stage you want to begin on by toggling the round option to the round you want to access, and then press start, and then on the title screen, hold down the A button and press start. And voila! Now you can jump into the last level and get smashed like I did, unless you are a pro. Now, moving on to the actual game hacking, there is a master code that must be entered when using the actual hardware and the game, and that code is DCXA-AA22. However, if you are emulating the game, you may not need to enter this, as they often include the master codes for you, but I whacked it in just to be sure. We will start off with one of the best codes for the game, which is ATWA-AA8R. With this bad boy enabled, you are essentially invincible, and no power will be lost from your gauge when an enemy hits you. For some reason, the very first enemies actually die when you walk into them, which is pretty cool. This whole code though is a lot of fun, for me anyway. I always enjoy a good invincibility code, and to have this one as a default code is just superb. Enjoy smashing your way through the game without the hassle of health. Another super handy code is FT1T-AA5L, which gives us a very useful infinite lives. Altered Beast is a pretty tough game, and it is also a bit skimpy in the lives department, so this is a great code to have activated as you go through the game, as your life counter just stays at 2. There are also life codes like BWXA-ACCT, which will start you off in the game with only 1 life if you want a challenge, or the code BWXA-ALCT, which starts the game with a nifty 5 lives. Not much else to say about these codes other than they can help or hinder you during your adventure. There is also a really cool code that makes it so the first spirit ball you gather will automatically transform you into your beast from the first level. Simply enter PA5T-BNT2 and then beat up that first blue pig you can find, and the moment that sweet spirit ball hits you, bam, you got yourself an altered beast. This is a good one to combine with the first cheat that we looked at, as it lets you select which beast you want for the first level, so give it a go. For those of you that don't know, the first boss of the game that throws his head is actually called Aga. So why is this important? Well, if we use the code AEFA-AABW, he becomes easier to beat. Not that he is exactly the hardest boss in the game, but since we are looking at Game Genie codes, we may as well give it a whirl. And boy howdy, does this bad boy work well. 1 hit baby, that's all it takes to beat this head-throwing goon. It's well worth adding this code. Speaking of codes that make bosses easier to beat, why not check out the amazing Game Genie code HTWT-B6KG, which is super handy and makes most of the enemies you encounter easier to beat. In fact, you can just about 1-hit any enemy you want to, and this even includes the first 2 bosses. You can really cruise through the game with this cheat, if you have your kicks and punches down, as it's super easy to just mow down the undead, pigs, snakes, weird purple mini McDonald's grimaces, and as I say, even the boss battles are much easier. I really can't believe how cool most of the default Galoob Game Genie cheats are for Altered Beast. In fact, this code alone kinda makes the last 3 or 4 codes obsolete, as they just focus on particular enemies or bosses being easier to take out. So we will skip them and head on to some fan-discovered codes and see what kind of mischief we can unleash on the Sega. So first up, we're going to take a look at the code MA5A-AAFT, which is actually, surprise surprise, super handy. With this cheat in play at any time during the level, you can push down and the B button at the same time to transform up a level from your current status. This means with 3 presses of the down and B button, we can become the wolf on the first level no problems. This had some interesting effects on level 2 though, as instead of transforming into a dragon like you would normally, I used this code and still turned into a wolf. It's a bit of a shame, but what can you expect with some glitchy Game Genie codes? The code AA2T-BAXE promised to be even better. Basically, it auto-upgrades your transformation for you without doing anything. And yeah, I turned into a wolf, but then the game froze. Bugger. There is even a code that is SE1A-AATE, which will automatically transform you up a power-up every time you get hit. With this one, for some reason, you also flash for a little bit, which I think makes you invincible for a short period of time. I could be wrong though, so give it a go. I found a cheat simply called Character Hyper, which is AA8A-AAPL, and naturally I just had to give it a try. And man, am I glad I did. This turns your character's walk cycle into something amazing. It is like he is power walking everywhere 100 miles an hour. I'm not sure about his action when he is buffed though. He seems to be moving his hand quite quickly in an interesting position. This also affects your Altered Beast status as well, so if you came to see a power walking wolf, mission accomplished. Another rather fun movement based code is ABBT-AAZT, which puts your character into hyperdrive. It is a little bit glitchy on the character sprite, but you move way faster, which in this game makes it a little bit more fun, as movement is normally a tad slow. You can also punch, kick and jump, and use your Altered Beast special attacks faster than they can even register, meaning as long as you are a fast button presser, you don't really have a lot to worry about enemy-wise. Followers of my hacking videos will know that one of my favourite types of Game Genie cheats are when you can moonwalk or multiple jump. Well, guess what? Add the code WA3A-AABA and you can press A to jump till your heart is content. This does kinda sacrifice your punch to a degree. You do technically still punch, but with the moonwalking trade-off I can certainly dig it. There is one problem though. If you jump too high and go off the screen, you will get stuck up there and the game will continue on without you being visible. I guess you can't win them all. If you can manage to enter the huge 3-line code BAWA-AAK8 plus BAWA-AAKA plus H20A-AA42, you will be in for a fantastic treat. With this bad boy in place, you will automatically one-hit kill any enemy or boss that appears on the screen. That's right, all you have to do is walk forward, or let the screen move you forward, and everything around you gets obliterated. You even automatically pick up spirit balls that come your way, so you power up automatically as well. I did have some minor trouble on level 3 where I copped some weird damage for no reason, but it still went by fine. If you try one of these codes yourself, then make it this one. And finally, we will leave you with a truly bizarre cheat code. Enter in AA3A-AAAR as your Game Genie cheat, and then when you are in the game, just press the A button. Now you'll turn into the actual boss of the game. Sit there zapping for a bit, then scoot off and the game plays like normal. Well, except your character disappears. You don't die, and the game scrolls by until it gets stuck on this screen, as you can't attack to kill the last headless skeleton things. It's a bit of fun to end on though. Anyway, that's it for today my friends. I do hope you enjoyed hacking the Sega Mega Drive classic Altered Beast. If you did, then please hit that like button to see if we can get to at least 30 likes. Subscribe and ring the bell if you are new, and if you really like the mayhem and what I do, why not check out the join button or our Patreon page below to help support future videos, get behind the scenes action and see your name in lights at the end of videos. And with all that said, I'll catch you soon.